Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining. So we just three small business owners opening up for some Q&A today, and then I'll tell you briefly about our business and some of the ways and things that we can do to help others. We're definitely here to support each other and grow. So I'll introduce myself. My name is Autumn Redding. I am the CEO and founder of ADQM Solutions, where we take the issues of business owners and the challenges of professionals and we enhance them with value. I'm your girl for marketing, creative ideas. I'm here to help support your business so it's thriving. Professionals that are looking to help with resumes or job seeking, I'm that girl to get you in front of that employer and get you the leads that you're looking for. So make sure you reach out to me, follow me on Facebook, and definitely check out the website, www.adqmsolutions.com. Michelle, I'll pass it over to you.
Thank you. I am Coach Michelle Kennedy. They call me Miss Get You Together because that's what I specialize in, getting you together. I specialize in a lot of areas in life. If you need someone to help you get your business together, your marriage together, your relationship together, or just you yourself, you can check me out on all social media at Coach Michelle Kennedy, as well as if you have an idea that you want to write a book, I can help you. I also do writing coaching as well as writing mentor, as well as if you're looking to be a life coach yourself. I also have a program where you can become certified to be a life coach in 16 weeks. We do have some slots available for our August class, and you can walk in at 2021 certified as a life coach. I'm your girl.
Hey. I can't wait to do it.
Yes.
Go ahead, Carissa.
Hi, I'm Carissa, the CEO and founder of Jazz Poetry Cafe and No Fear Productions, and where we manage artists, we do productions, we do events, we do booking, we do it all. We also offer a platform for local up-and-coming artists to gain exposure, to expand their reach, as well as local business owners that have the opportunity to be a vendor at our events that we have every first Friday. We're really community focused. I've been in music business for 10 plus years, and I just want to be able to bridge the gap, to take artists and business owners from where they are to where they want to be. So if you know anyone in our music industry, not just music,
from Autumn's iPhone,
any artist, reach out to me and I can help expand their reach.
Awesome. I think like it's so important to support and come together. It is just so needed. So we wanted to open it up for questions and answers. If you have any questions, business-wise, post it. We can share it, show it on the screen, and then we're definitely going to be here to answer. Meanwhile, little couple topics I actually, wanted to talk about the importance of kind of being prepared for your business. For this past Corona, we done talked about creativity. We done talked about getting ready, being where we're at, and now we're starting to open back up and we're in phases. So what happens when we're not ready? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, or what can help someone be ready? So while we wait for these questions to go ahead and come on in, I want to chime on just the importance of being ready or growing too fast. It's so important. I think we definitely don't need to overlook it and be ready for it.
Exactly. One thing I always tell people always pray for a blessing, but they forget to prepare for the blessing. Mm-hmm. We think it's going to come when we have it all together, but that's not how it comes, because like this quarantine was totally unexpected. And for those who were able to weather the storm and still be open, they have an influx of business that they probably weren't prepared for. And right now it looks good because the money is good, but was your customer service skills prepared for it? Did you have enough manpower to handle the influx of customers? So did you prepare for what you prayed for? Do you have everything set up to handle the flow of the numerous of people that's now coming to utilizing your services? Because like I said, people come to you now because they don't have a choice. But what happens when they do have a choice? Will they still choose you? That's what we need to be thinking about. Am I doing what I need to do? Am I doing what it takes for these people to still choose me once they have other options.
Right.
Because when you don't have options, of course they're coming to you. If I was the only burger place in town, of course everybody gonna come to me for burgers. But what about when McDonald's come and Burger King and Wendy's? Will they still choose me? Am I providing a service or a product that make them still choose me? And that's what we need to be focused on, because this quarantine is not gonna last forever. Are you ready and prepared to keep the customers that came to you? And then that's what we need to be focused on. I'm like, you got to grow, you got to expand, you got to think outside the box. And even though I want everybody to go back to being how they are, because I need my 200-300 people coming together again. But even I have to learn to utilize virtual tendencies, virtual technology to do what I did in person. So I had to change. I had to expand.
Yeah. Michelle, what's your input on it? You on mute.
I was trying to unmute and play with my ring light at the same time. So one of the things that I always say is that you don't get what you get what you prepare for. So things don't just happen. Like success and failures both take preparation. So you can prepare to be successful or you can prepare to be a failure, because they both take the same amount of effort. Like failure doesn't happen. It's what you prepare for. And one of the things I was writing down as Carissa was speaking is, with blessings become obligations. Like we pray for these things to take place, but then along with it becomes obligation, because the same thing you did to get that blessing, the same energy you had trying to get that blessing, the same energy you was using to tear the church doors down praying for it to happen. When it happened, you're gonna need that same energy to tear them same church doors down in order to get it, to be able to maintain it. I'm telling you, because like we ask for things and think, oh, once I get it, okay, so now that you got it, now what? It's like even with the children of Israel, they prayed to be free, but then when they got free, they was in the wilderness. Like that same energy, they was trusting God to get out of bondage. Once they got out of bondage, they failed to trust him. We
Exactly.
hungry. We want something to drink. We want this. We want to go back, because when we was over in Egypt, at least they did give us food. But the thing is, what you got to do is you got to make sure that in you praying for to get it, you got to also pray for the strength to keep it. It's like somebody
Exactly.
who prays to have a husband. Oh, I want a husband. Oh, I want a husband because I want some of the things that come with it. But are you ready for the submission part? Are you ready for being able to deny yourself in order that you may uplift someone else? It looks all glam and glamorous because they got relationship goals and this, that, and third. But are you ready? And people be like, oh my God, you do a whole lot of things. But I tell my husband often, I will shut it down. I'll close it. If it means me keeping you, I need you. You are who I need. And you got to be at a place that you are prepared to make the necessary sacrifice, because blessings come with obligations. I'm a digress.
I agree. Like, I think just preparing, and then even if you don't sleep on it. If something comes at you unexpectedly, you got to jump on it. You got to attack it. You can't sleep on it. You know what I'm saying? Keep it going, so that way your same current motion, everything keeps on going as well. Luke, I'm glad Luke is listening. Hey, Barbara. Hey, Vanessa. Hey, Selena. Dang, we got a lot on. That's what's up, y'all. Thanks for the support. Put in, hey, Dawn, put in any business questions that you have, and we'll go ahead and post it. Look for feedback, make this a community effort.
One thing, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
So with preparing, you can't be rigid. I've come in contact with a lot of people who they run their business how they want to run it, and then they don't want to change in order to embrace the growth. I've been doing it this way. This is how I'm going to keep doing it. But that's what helped you before. But now that's not going to help you. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to carry you into this new season, this new way of life that we're going into.
Right.
So you have to be flexible. So yeah. I know you like doing what you're doing, like me with Jazz Sports Cafe. I used to just want to just give people the music that I like. I like this music, and everybody else gonna like it too. Well, everybody doesn't like the music that I like, so I had to provide what they liked. regardless of what I want to do. And it's the same thing with this business. You may just want people just to meet you in person, but right now we can't. So provide what's necessary for your consumers.
Right. So Luke said something. Luke did this like 30-day challenge going live, and I caught it. I looked at it a couple times, more than a lot. His message was so impactful that he left you thinking like, So today he had, would you pay for something you can do yourself? Most people say, I'm not going to pay for it if I could do it myself. But granted, we go to restaurants, like he said, you can, but that's every business in itself. Yeah, look, Michelle already feel me. I had to call him like, hey, look, yeah, I got to bring this topic back up, but business-wise. Because really, would you pay for something you can do yourself? We can do a lot ourselves. Would you pay for something? Like, yes, that's me, but I support other businesses. That's business.
I pay for everything I could do myself because I learned real quick that even though I could do everything, I shouldn't. It will leave you stressed out and overwhelmed. Mm-hmm. So I know how to do everything, and I don't mind delegating services to other people. Matter of fact, you should know how to do everything yourself. So that way you could check people when they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. I have to remind people often, please remember that I know how to do what you do. And so it just keep people accountable, because when you try to take on people, only people that know how to do stuff that you don't know how to do, you leave room for them to take advantage of the opportunity that you've given them. Yeah. You leave yourself susceptible for attacks. And no matter how well-intentioned these people are, we are still human. And so people are always thinking about how to get in where they fit in. And so their eagerness to help you can easily turn into betrayal. Mm-hmm. It's a slippery slope. And so if you don't know how to do what they do, I suggest you learn.
I agree. I think it's important to know your limits. You know when you're reaching it, when you need to bring on help, even if you know how to do it. As a business owner, I do feel and see sometimes a lot of people want to do everything. You know what I'm saying? Have your hands in everything. But how well can you perform doing that? You know what I'm saying? There's times when you can't. Michelle, go ahead, chime in. I feel it. Come on.
I was just having, as a matter of fact, me and Autumn talked about this when I was doing a consultation with her, because she is creating a website for Embrace You. And I said to her, Embrace You, hey, that's my girl. We work together. And so I could do everything in Embrace You, because there was a time where it was just a one-woman show. I taught I did the grading. I did, there was a time where it was a one-person show, but there is no way I could handle the amount of growth that Embrace You has done in a 1-year period on my own. A lot of times, because business owners are insecure in who they are, they feel that it can't get done if they don't do it. But you are only one person, and as much as we think that we multitask, incorrect. Your mind can only do one thing at a time. So if you're doing something that you can have someone else to do, then that takes away the time that you have to be the business owner. As I say, it has to come to a point where we stop doing business and we start being the business. Because whenever we get so caught up in doing it, like, you don't have the opportunity to be the face of it, because you're the hands of it. Right. One of the things I learned from TD Jakes says, he talked about Moses and how Jethro watched him for a day. And he said, you are doing way too much. Moses was doing so much that he had to get 70 elders to do the job that the one person was doing. Moses was doing too much. And oftentimes as business owners, we're doing too much. I have found myself being guilty on my own because I was doing way too much. But TD Jakes said, if you find somebody who has your heart, you can teach them your vision. Yes. The main thing is finding somebody who has your heart and not being so insecure to the point that you don't trust nobody. Being to the point that when you give somebody something to do, you got to stand there and watch over them. You give them the tools and the resources, and you empower them to do it, and you let them do it. If you doing everything, you losing out on something.
I
Exactly.
agree.
And when you have a business, your business is supposed to outlive you. So if your business is only held together by you, it will die with you. So you got to get in the mindset. You got to have people that's going to carry your vision. It's got to outlive you. So like she said in the beginning, it's going to be just you. Please believe me, it's going to be just you. But you're going to want people to have your heart to carry your vision, which leads me to say, is your vision clear? Because sometimes we keep it all up here. I know what I want my business to do. I know what my goals are, but we have a hard time translating that. So you have all these people willing to help you, but you haven't effectively translated your vision. So now they're bringing on their vision. Since you haven't told me what you want, now I'm going to do what I want. And so you have a chaotic situation.
I agree.
Absolutely. Because if you don't put our processes in place, it's like for embrace you. Hey, boo, Marcy on here. Hey, Marcia. Um, I adopted a singer, and she's actually on here, and she's looking to be a business owner. So I'm glad that she's joined. So one of the things that I discovered is like I know my coaching curriculum like the back of my hand. I learned it and then I've taught it enough. But I realized that if I needed to have somebody else teach it, in order for it to be consistent, I needed to put processes in place. Like you need a SOP, you need a LOP, you need processes in place. That way you're able to provide a consistent product. That's like if you are a baker and you have a recipe, you're able to give somebody that recipe to produce that same product. And as long as they follow that recipe that you've given them every time, that cake is going to turn out right. So what you
Exactly.
got to do is you got to put those things in place, and that's that part of preparation. A lot of us are so busy doing business. Like if you run in every department in your business, you ain't got time to sit down and say, now, if I needed to tell somebody how to get the point A to point B, this is how I would tell them. You at some time you got to empower somebody and stop doing business and be the business.
I agree.
Exactly.
I agree. I wanted to highlight and show on the screen. Hey, that's your baby right there. Hey, shout out to you. Vanessa put on here teamwork. I mean, let's chime in on teamwork. Like
Yes.
like how important is teamwork from the business aspect, from the owner down to the very bottom? Because you have to make them feel comfortable whatever level they're at. So you have to be able to meet them. And some people, you got to give people the opportunity also to correct what they're doing wrong, or give the opportunity to fix it. You know, like it. Let's talk about the teamwork, the importance of teamwork.
Oh yeah. I'm a
Oh
firm believer of John Maxwell when he said that the goal is more important than the role. So it doesn't matter what role you play, it's the goal that's the primary topic of what's going on. And it does take a team. Like you can't do it all on your own, because somebody else is going to bring a different set of ideas, and just because it's the way that you've always been doing it doesn't mean that it is the best way to do it. um it may be a new, I'm telling you, it may be a new idea, or it may be not even new, it just may be a different way of doing things. I know whenever I do the coaching courses, I always go back and I say, give me your feedback. What went well? So if I could do anything differently, what would you want to have differently? And I
mhm.
do this on a consistent basis so that I'm able to add more and add more and add more, because I look at my curriculum from a facilitator standpoint. I've never been a student of my own. So therefore a student's aspect of it is going to totally be different. Same way with your customers. You look at it from a business standpoint, but if you're not asking your customers for feedback and what they think and how they feel, like you're never able to improve what you're doing. But whenever it comes to teamwork, like the goal is always more important than the role. And you've got to also build a culture. Like what I start doing is like when they sign up for the program, I immediately add them to the group so that they can learn our ways, so that they can learn our lingo, so that they can learn the way that we appreciate, we celebrate each other, and it becomes a culture. And when it becomes a culture, it becomes an environment, and it becomes an environment where people can thrive. You know, if you're not building the team, then you're gonna just have a bunch of pieces.
Right. Want to shout out 2 more comments we got. So Luke definitely said hiring talent is so liberating, which is true. You know, hiring someone talented is everything. And then going back to standard processes, that's why McDonald's fries taste the same from Houston to Hong Kong. It's so important. That is the key. I mean,
Yes.
what about that standard process? Like, you want to talk about that a little bit because it's important. You know, like it's a must.
It is. And the funny thing is, Luke has probably eaten French fries from Houston to Hong Kong because he has probably traveled the world at least twice. But yeah, a standard operating procedure is what you have in place that regardless of where your business is being done, this is how it will be conducted. It's like a formula. I went to work for a company and there was no process in place. And my training was reading their 600-page operation procedure.
Wow.
I was so baffled because my background is teaching and training. I'm like, how do y'all function without a standard operating procedure? So I created it from what they gave me. I created them a complete process. And when I resigned, I said, listen, I'm going to give y'all some y'all didn't have when I came. And I gave them a booklet that I had created that says, step 1, this is what you do. Step 2, this is what you do. And when you are creating it, you have to create it as if you're talking to somebody who has no clue on what your business is.
Exactly.
Because we understand our terminology, we understand our lingo. And one of the biggest things is people who are visionaries getting the stuff out their head and on paper. And that takes some, you know, because you deal with artists, dealing with artists. It's about getting that vision out their head and on paper, which oftentimes they're not able to do by themselves. That's why you need a coach. Shameless plug. But that's what a coach does. A coach will help you to get that vision out of your head and on paper and apply some processes to it. Everybody's not a process person. Like it takes skill, it takes talent, it takes an eye to details to be able to put the 1, 2, 3s to something that you do. A lot of times we do it so seamless that we don't even really think about what it takes in order to have it done. That's why you got to have those standard operation processes in place.
Those SOPs are so important, especially in the medical field where I work. If you're missing an action, you're not in place, I should be able to pick up where it was left off at without the explanation because it's there. You know, but it's in every business. We don't know what may happen. God, knock on wood. So somebody needs to be able to come in and keep going where you left off at, because otherwise your business and vision, it crumbles. It crumbles in itself. Those SOPs are major. Ms. Marcia said, once you have a great team, great morals, the team shall grow. We'll encounter a few bumps, but that could correct as you go on. That is the key. Your foundation.
But a great team is good, but a great process is better. Because I would love for my team to be my team for the rest of my life. But, you know, things happen, people grow, people move on. That's why the process is more important than the team. If you have a great process, you have great people with your heart, they can just plug in as needed. I think sometimes we put so much emphasis on our team that if somebody leave, it breaks us. We don't know how to function. And so if we have a great process, I could be like, you know what? I love you. I understand that you want to go on and spread your wings, but I could put somebody else right in your place and we could keep moving.
Right.
The business will keep going. The process is perfecting the will. If you perfect your will will roll, and no matter where you go, in this city, in the next city, across the country, across, you know what I'm saying, in a different nation, it will still work. Because you want to get to the point where you're going to have multiple teams. I have a local team, I got a national team, I got an international team. We have to get out of the mindset of thinking locally to thinking globally. How can you do what you do globally? And it's going to go beyond the people that's helping you right now, because they too can only do so much.
Mm-hmm.
But if you perfect the process, you could duplicate it 1,000,000 times over. That's why McDonald's is everywhere, because they mastered the process. Jacksonville's going to do it this way. Hong Kong going to do it this way. And guess what? They don't all have the same things on their menu. When you go to McDonald's in Hong Kong, you're going to see something different than what you see here in Jacksonville. But the process is the same.
I agree.
You're going to walk in, you're going to order your food, and you're going to pay whatever you're going to pay. The process is the same. That's why they're able to have a franchise. Anybody could just pick up and get a franchise and do what McDonald's tells them to do.
Mm-hmm. I agree. So I think too, it's even from the aspect, like, so we talked about the team, the SOP. I think from the business owner communication. So sometimes with business owners, we don't feel like there's room for change within ourselves. I think the business owner should be mindful that you can learn from your employees, you can learn from your customers. You have to take heed to kind of get that craft. So the ability to adapt, but the communication is the key. Anybody want to talk about, and it could be the streamlining to your employees. It can be the wealth communication is all in itself. Because I can't expect someone to duplicate what I'm thinking if I haven't laid it out, because they don't function like how I function.
Exactly. You always have to be in a position of humility. You can learn from anybody, from a child to a senior. You always got to be in a position of learning, because once you feel like you've reached your level of you've learned everything, you know everything, that's when you know nothing. That's when you actually proven that you know nothing. You always want to be learning from anybody. I don't care if they just got into the business or they don't even know the business. You could learn different mannerisms from them. You could learn different moral standards. Anything, you always learn. I'm always a student. I'm a student before I'm a teacher. Anything that I teach is something that I learned. Period. I don't teach anything that I have to learn first. So I'm always hungry. That's why I know how to do a lot of things, because I'm always learning. I'm around different people. Hey, how do you do what you do? I may not never do what you do, but I just want to know what you do, because I may not have to, let's say I'm life coach, even though I'm planning on taking your class, man, I'm going to be a life coach.
Hey.
If I was around her and I never thought about being a life coach, I bet you it's something that I could learn from her that I could apply to what I do. How she act, how she engage with people. I could learn something that she do to apply to what I do. So I'm always learning. Hey, I don't plan on working the fast food restaurant, but how do you work those burgers? How do you flip those burgers? How do you run up getting these people down so fast? I don't want to work there, but I know I can apply that technique to what I do. And so you got to always be in a place of humility where you're always learning. If you're not humble, you can't grow.
This is true.
Because if you only depend on what you know, then you cannot go further than what you know. You're self-taught. You're recycling information. That doesn't even make sense. How can you go from your point where you are if you're only teaching yourself?
Right.
You have to.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So it was two thoughts. One is, me and Dawn, we've been having a chat about McDonald's fries, and I was saying to her, she said their fries are the best, and I said their fries are magical. But it took me back to 20 plus years ago. I knew someone who worked for McDonald's, and they give them a handbook that's like this thick, which is their processes, and they teach them when they're shaking salt on the fries that you shake them in the arch. So in building business, you got to be intentional with your processes, because it don't take, for us, it don't take a whole lot just to throw some salt on some fries. But if you teaching them a way to throw, every time you get fries, they gonna have the same thing as consistency. So when you're building your business, you got to consider what your customer journey is. So where my customer come from, when my customer place an order, what are they doing to place that order? After the order is placed, how do I respond to that order? All the way down to the end of your customer journey has to be feedback. Every restaurant you go to, they tell you on the bottom of your receipt, there's an 800 number that you can call. We want a survey. We want feedback. When you call your bank, can you take a few moments to give us some feedback? Because that's the way you improve on who you are, by including feedback in that journey, because that will help you to do better. I mean, the feedback doesn't always have to be a 10. Like, you can learn a lot from feedback that's a 9, or even feedback that's a 5. And just because that customer may be the only customer who told you that, but that is that customer's experience. So you've got to take the feedback, and that's how you build upon it, and that's how you become a better business person, and that's how you become more successful. So in order to be better, you got to ask for feedback.
Yeah.
Yes. And you have to commit to the process, because even though we get feedback from different people or even from our employees, you have to know what works. And you have to commit to what works. Say it with the arch. I'm telling everybody to put the arch. And somebody said, I think you should do a circle. And I'm like, okay, that's a good idea, but this is why I do the arch. So if you have some people doing arches and other people doing circles, now you got chaos. Now you got people doing whatever they want to do. Then you're going to have people coming in doing triangles. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have to commit to the process. And if you agree with the feedback that you have, then you have to apply it across the board. My feedback said that people like when we do circles. Okay, so now everybody's doing circles. Right. You have to commit to the process, because if you leave too much room, then you, like I said, you're gonna have chaos, and then you look inconsistent. Then you as a business is gonna look bad, not the person who's doing it. Oh, I don't want to go and deal with Michelle because I saw so and so do this, and Michelle may not even know that so and so was doing that, but because she didn't commit to the process, now Michelle business looks bad.
I agree.
Whatever you do, commit to it.
You got to be consistent. Even for me today, I had something going on right before, but I couldn't miss a Thursday. You know what I'm saying? I had Michelle in my head, autumn consistency. You're engaged in a group. People are looking. Then you got the messages going like, so even if you have to delay it, but it's still, we're all human. You know what I'm saying? But just be responsive to any changes that you have. I learned to adapt to it. Let me move the time around, but I'm still remaining consistent and able to change it with a little flexibility.
Exactly.
Good night, Lou. Thanks for joining. Like I said, thank you for letting me share this as well. Because I heard him talking, I was like, wait a minute. Like, it literally, I'm talking about 2-3 hours ago. And I was like, let me write this question down, because we often don't see. Dawn says she loves this group. I had to share that. Yay. Hey, awesome. I think we're doing so much for business owners, entrepreneurs, people with a vision, you know, ones that may have been business owners and kind of left. We're providing so much of an opportunity and platform. It's building a community. I think that community that we build will continue to help build all of us. I share posts all the time. I want to be able to support others, because whether you're doing it with me or you're doing something different, we can kind of come together and create a bigger fort than any. But I don't know, everybody's not in that culture. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get you to get there so we all can get there.
Exactly. I want to piggyback on what you said about consistency. From day one, when I opened Jazz Poetry Cafe, I drove the idea of consistency. I remained consistent no matter what. When I had 300 people and when I had 5 people, I remained consistent. People like the waiver, they think, okay, my people aren't coming, so I'm going to skip this month, or I don't have to do it this time. people are watching. Even the people who aren't coming are watching. They're watching to see how consistent you are. When they see that you're consistent, a year or two down the line, hey, I need to come because I see you still going on. I seen when you were going down. I seen when you were up. They're paying attention to your consistency. You don't have the luxury of checking out or tapping out. Like even in this pandemic, we don't have the luxury of tapping out just because we're going through quarantine. Remain consistent. That's why tomorrow, First Friday, we're having a live concert. It's not in person. Yeah, shameless plug.
Oh no, you fine.
We're doing JPC Juke Joint. We're still providing the same service that we do as we did in person. You have to remain consistent because your consumers depend on it. Don't you without a shadow of a doubt, you know, if you drive up to a McDonald's, it's going to be open. Can you imagine you go to McDonald's and they're closed?
But wait a minute. Wait, this their policy? Let me call and see what's going on.
You know, we quit to call corporate. Look, but they're going to consistently not have that shake machine working.
I was going to say that. They are consistent with that. That shake machine is down.
And they're consistent.
I will say, though, my following and respect for businesses that are operational has expanded since Corona. Like I don't know if everyone, all business owners, people on here, people are watching. You know, they're watching. You have to pay attention. They're watching. My aunt, Dawn, she goes to McDonald's 3 times a day. She's an essential worker. She going to breakfast, lunch. You know, I talked to her on the phone, but it stands out. While people are at home, you talk about it. Those things stick out to me.
Yes. So
what you're doing to stand out during this time, please know later down the line, it is going to be well respected and seen. Exactly. So I want to encourage people, if you haven't thought about it yet, you know what I'm saying, start gathering your following. You know what I'm saying, start talking about it. Reach out. Because I can't explain. I know people have lost their lives, but the opportunities that this COVID-19 has provided is also beneficial in itself. It's a good and bad, it looks like, in both areas.
It's about your perception and the way you perceive how something has taken place. If you perceive things to be bad, and it doesn't even have anything to do with death. It could just be the fact that you can no longer walk into your job and work. But if you're looking at it as, oh man, I'm not working into my job, instead of looking at it as, I'm glad I still have a job, it all boils down to the way that you perceive a situation. And you have to make sure that you fix your focus. There are times when things will happen and it will shake you and it will make you waver. But then you got to think back to the things that are good, the things that are positive, the things that, you know, the way that it's as if the world is falling apart and coming together all at the same time. You know, people have relearned their families. You know, a lot of parents didn't know how behavioral challenged their children are until they had to teach them themselves. Right, for real.
That is true.
A lot of the teacher was sending them notes home and calling them, and they like, but she just needs to do her job. Now you doing her job, so tell her thank you. You know, there has been so much that has been learned in this pandemic that I don't want life to go back to the way it was.
It can't. It can't.
Yeah, it can't. It absolutely can't. It can't unhappen.
Exactly. And see, and that's the thing with me. My motto is, you come to be entertained, but you're going to leave changed. My goal is to change the way you think. And I don't have to change it a whole 180. All I do is just change the pivot. Because once I alter it, you can't go back. You can't unhear what you heard. You can't unsee what you've seen. I've already changed you for life. If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change. Change how you see things. Change how you perceive things. You cannot remain the same. And so if you sit here, change your focus. And see, another thing I'm reminded of, what you magnify, manifest. So what are you focused on? Are you focused on negativity all the time? Are you sitting here looking at the news day in and day out? Oh my God, another person died from corona. Oh my God. Or are you focused on, okay, what can I do to adjust to this new?
Yeah.
What am I doing? Am I relearning my family? Like Michelle said, I know I had to relearn my family. I'm like, oh my gosh, you felt that way? I should have been doing this. I stopped doing this because, boy, I wear many hats. I work a full-time job, part-time job. I run a business. I'm a mentor. I wear many hats, a mother. And I'm sitting and looking at my house. I said, Lord, there go that project I was supposed to been done 3 years ago. Oh my God, my child done got so big and now he's in puberty. Okay, it's a talk that we need to have. This pandemic has been a blessing to me. I don't know about everybody else, but it gave me a chance to step back and look at the things that I overlooked. Sometimes we move at such a fast pace that we miss stuff. And the same thing with your business. Your business is moving so fast and you're gaining so much traction that you're missing things.
Right.
Impertinent things. Like before, you didn't realize that extra menu line wasn't a problem because you had so many people, but now you don't have those many people. Now you're looking at, oh man, something was misspelled.
Yeah.
We stopped selling chicken 5 years ago. Why is it still on the menu?
It's like business owners gotta wake up. If you're currently in business, you gotta look at ways to be innovative and adapt. Because if round 2 comes along, what do we learn from round 1? You know what I'm saying? We have to be able to adapt and change. And then we also have to be able to take, this is the time to look over your whole process. Like check it all out, review it. We should not come out of this being the same.
Exactly.
No way.
Professional TikTokers.
Yeah. Like we cannot, as business owners, and then build a support system. I cannot stress it alone. Build a support system. If you tell me another business owner won't give you the time or day to connect with you or to collaborate to do something, that's a concern. Build a network so that way not only you can grow, they can grow, y'all grow together, but y'all also continuously, me collaborating with these 2 women on here right now, I've expanded myself. You know what I'm saying? You have to keep thinking like that, keep pushing like that.
Yes.
Anybody have any questions? Post them. I know we said we was going to be a little short today, so we're here and available to answer. And then you can always post again during the rewatch, and then one of us will be able to chime in and see it as well.
And you also need accountability partners. You can't just surround yourself with people who agree with you. If you agree with me and you think like me, then I don't need you in my circle. I need you to bring something different. I know what I know. I don't need you agreeing with what I know. Tell me something different. Tell me what you do. I know how to make bricks. Teach me how to make cement. Can you do that? Tell me what I'm doing wrong with my bricks.
Yeah.
My bricks have holes in it. Thank you for telling me that. You need accountability partners. You can't be expecting everybody to agree with you.
Yep.
Iron sharpens iron. And what that means that you're going to cut each other and you got to be okay. You'll be all right. Put a Band-Aid on it. Keep it moving.
It's funny you say that. One of my friends, he's like, my accountability partner. That's how he referred to his accountability team, his accountability partner. So he already identifies they don't think in the same mindset of him and they're thinking outside the box. That's why they all come together in a special way. But that's big too, that accountability team.
Yes.
And if you feed everybody in your circle, you're in danger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You need somebody in your circle who want nothing from you. You need somebody in your circle who wants nothing from you. Because if everybody in your circle you feed, you're in danger, because that means that their connection to you is what determines whether or not they eat. Then they're not going to be completely truthful with you because they want to make sure that they stand in good standing so that they eat. You need somebody in your circle who want absolutely nothing from you. I'm going to say it again. You need somebody in your circle who want nothing from you. And what does that do? That keeps you in a posture where somebody will tell you you're wrong. Like you got, that's a must. Like you got it. People, I've watched it so many times in church, in businesses, in organizations where who that person is the head, everybody is a yes sir, yes ma'am. You got to have somebody who's not afraid to tell you no, because when everybody around you is eating off of you, you in danger. Okay, I'm not gonna
Right.
say it again, but yes, I am. I'm gonna say
Say
it
it
one
again.
more time. If everybody around you eating off you, you in danger, because there's no one who's telling you that you're wrong. Like I have several people who I keep myself accountable to, because success can make you change. Being on top will make you change. Like and it has happened from the dawn of time. And if you don't have anybody who's going to be able to pull your coattail, it reminds me of David when he's saying with Bathsheba, like all those people around him, all those people who served under him, all those people who were attached to him, nobody said to him, man, leave that man wife alone. God had to send Nathan to him, and he tells him the story, and then he like, whoever that is, they need to be put to death. Then Nathan said, you aren't that man. You need somebody who gonna tell you you aren't that man, because
Mhm.
we make mistakes. We will say things that hurt people feeling unintentionally. We will do things in a wrong manner, not knowing it, just out of our experience. Like, and I think one of the biggest aspects is relationship building. Like if you've grown up in broken relationship, you don't know how to have business relationship, and you've got to have somebody who's going to be able to say, yeah, I know that's how you're feeling, but let's look at it in a different manner. Let's look at it in a different way. I have an armor bearer, and when I say she will cold clean check me and then be like, what we eating for lunch?
But you got to be able to adjust. Like don't be in your feelings. You know what I'm saying? I
You
need you
can't
to.
you can't trust your feelings. Stop
You
Yes.
cannot.
operating in them. You cannot trust your feelings.
You
You
cannot. Like
cannot trust
you
your
come at
feelings.
me, Autumn. That ain't gonna work. Okay, I gotta duly know that. I gotta pay attention. You know, I gotta be able to understand and take that feedback and know, like, hey, this person is gonna come at me to let me know.
Yes.
Yeah, that was big. That was
But
big.
one of my favorite quotes is, "No one cares how much you know until they know how much you care,"
I was
and that's
almost saying
and that's by
that.
President Teddy Roosevelt. And that's a mantra I live by. And that's why I can be Miss Get You Together, because when people know that the hard conversations that you're having with them is coming out of a place of care and a place of love, they will accept what you do. And I tell people I've been anointed for conflict. Like if we need to have that tough conversation, we're gonna have that tough conversation and we're gonna hug and kiss it out. But one thing about it is it's going to be in a healthy manner, because healthy conflict is good. What do you think the iron is sharpening the iron? Because of conflict, because they're hitting together. And we are so much in our feelings that we don't trust facts. Don't trust your feelings.
You definitely
Hey,
can't trust your feelings. Period.
facts.
Trust
Period.
the facts, not your feelings.
Exactly. You can't trust
so
your feelings.
so everybody ain't on this or ready to adapt for this. So what are some tips you can share to some business owners now that are in these predicaments, that you have accountability, you have a team or someone that you can actually respect, but you just ain't looking at it like that because you at that level of success that you ain't hearing them. You know what I'm saying? So what are some ways that they can use from this video here, they can take to adapt, to be able to change and adjust? So that even if they want to do it personally themselves, to look at it, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are some tips we can offer right now?
Get you a
Um,
coach.
Yes.
Players are better with coaches. That's all I'm saying. Eh, listen, every coach need a coach. I got a coach. And every time I think that I am riding high, my coach comes and she challenges me to ride just a little bit longer. But for business owner, you need a coach. You need that person that you can go and you can sit down and you can have a real conversation with. Because as transparent as we want to be, you don't need to be completely transparent with those who serve up under you. It's good to be authentic, but not completely transparent, because everybody can't handle the real you. Everybody can't handle all of you. You need to have somebody, a mentor, a coach, a consultant. You need somebody who is outside of your organization that you can go and talk to, who has a clear mind. Yes, and if you need a financial coach, Selena Gibson, look her up on social media. She is the one. Absolutely. So if you need to get your coins in order, like you need a coach. I promise you, every coach need a coach. And everybody needs somebody they can talk to. You absolutely need somebody you can talk to. Okay, I digress. Shameless plug at Coach Michelle Kennedy.
Hey, go ahead. You know, you got to put that in the feed. Like, at the end of the day, we're all business owners ourselves. So, you know what I'm saying? What we're doing and what we provide into this community, you know what I'm saying? We also put the plug in for what we do, because that's why we're on here like that. You know, so there's a wealth of us. There's so many of us. We can't all go on one live. You know what I'm saying? Our team has grown that much. We can't go on one live. So, like, with that being said, you'll see us plugging. We support each other, no matter if we're on the same platforms or different platforms. Like, we hold each other to a certain standard and level that we support each other.
Yeah.
It's a safe haven, you know. So we like, this is something we got to keep going. Like, even when we go back to normal per se life, if that happens, like, this is something.
Going back. This was our new normal. We're not going back.
Like, this is something that's there and that's growing. And I'm loving seeing young people in business. I'm loving to see the old ones come back in business. I'm loving to see the different genders coming in business. You know, like, I'm loving it all. I'm loving to see the cultures come in business.
One thing, before people even get in position of getting a coach, you got to check yourself. I've had to learn the hard way that I cannot force help on people. No matter how much I love you and want to see the best out of you, if you don't want it, I can't help you.
Yeah, so can work harder than
you. You exactly. Check yourself. Realize the areas that you need help in, and then go find somebody to help you in those areas. But I can see that you need help all day long, but I'll be hitting against a brick wall if you don't want to change it. Then I'll be spinning my wheels and wasting my time. So check yourself. Be your first critic. You know what? I do have an attitude problem. You know what? I do have a problem with lying too much. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I am inconsistent. Because if everybody's saying the same thing, they're not lying.
Oh.
You just touched it. But it goes back to that overall, going back to the beginning. It goes back to, would you pay for something you can do yourself?
I'm back.
You're on back. Hey, Chris, I had to give it. Hold on, Chris, I got one for you. Look, hey.
You're welcome. And FYI, no, I don't have a problem with lying or being inconsistent, but I'm just because I'll be the first one to tell on me. I remember I was at work and I wanted to leave early, but my manager, my boss wasn't there, and I was like, "Oh, I could just go ahead and leave." And the girl's like, "Yeah, you leave." And I said, "Nah, child, I get my own self in trouble. I can't." Tell on me.
I wanted to say was like, especially in sisterhood, like, we've got to learn how to help our sisters with their crowns, like, in a way that they feel safe. Like, a lot of times people don't open up because they don't feel safe. They may have been burnt from somebody, or, it may have been a breakdown in relationship as they were coming up. So that has followed them. So we've got to be carers one for the other. And we got to help our sisters, straighten their crowns. And one of the things that I always do is I always ask people, how can I support you? I have had so many people break down in tears and said, no one has ever asked me that. I'm the person who always supports everybody else. But even the strong get weak. I mean, my daddy used to say it this way. He was old school, pressure or bust any pipe. So we got to be that support one for the other. I was sharing with some of the coaches, and one of the young ladies, she was in a hard place in life, and somebody asked her when she was going through the coaching program. They was like, you start stuff and you don't finish it. What's different this time? And she was feeling down, and I said, you go back and tell them the difference between then and now is you got support.
Mm-hmm.
Support makes all the difference in the
It does.
world.
It does.
Look, and she called me today, and I was just amazed because at that time she didn't have a job, she didn't have transportation, she was living with somebody, and now baby got a good job. She got a job. She got a good job.
Oh,
She done bought her a car. Today made 30 days that she was on her job. And I had to say to her, I'm proud of you because the Lord gave it, but he ain't worked on no job. You had to make a decision to do that. And change starts with just one decision.
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
that was big. Hey, let her know we all said congratulations.
Yes. Congratulations. But
But
when you don't have anybody, you got to be able to push you. You have to be able to push you. And I've had to learn that because I've always been the go-to person. I'm always helping other people. But I realized if I keep pouring, somebody needs to pour into me. I need a refill. I can't give out of my lack. And that's what a lot of people do. And I had to hit a rude awakening when one day I was brushing my teeth and I couldn't even keep water in my mouth because it was coming out of the left side of my left side of my face. I couldn't even move the left side of my face because of so much stress I put myself in. I was taking on ministry to work into business. I was stressing myself out, burning the candle on both ends. I was this close to having a stroke. And I was like, enough is enough. So you do have to have somebody that supports you and say, hey, girl, you got this. I believe in you. I support you. And not, like you say, don't want anything from you. Because you can't be supporting me and still feeding off of me.
yeah,
You
that
taking
is true.
me.
Look, I have to take my notes while y'all talking.
Plenty of
I
times I
think
call somebody and I need some help, and they say, "Girl, let me tell you my problem." I'm like, "Lord, I'm trying to. Can you help me?"
I think too we gotta the people who are putting in the work to show support them by just saying hello, thanks for this
Yeah,
feedback. You've got to keep the wheel going because eventually they start and it's not operating. They won't desire the time that they need to help make sure it continues. So if
Mm-hmm.
you see it, whether you can't stay on long, come on, hey, thanks, thanks for this information. I love what y'all do. The support helps. The support has helped us continue to what we're doing. If the feedback wasn't there, we would do it for so long. And then guess what? We'd be like, hey, you know what? Maybe we need to change our direction. You know what I'm saying? Where are we going with this? So it helps. So just definitely support others that are doing big things in the community that impact you, that can impact somebody else. Michelle, you got to let this girl know with this job. Everybody's saying congratulations.
I am.
You got to let her know.
I'm telling you, oh my God. When I say it does my heart well because oftentimes I believe in people who don't believe in themselves, but they trust me. And I say to them, if you trust me, trust the me that believe in you until you can believe in your own self. Like, and
yeah,
that's all people need. Sometimes it's just somebody to say, I believe in you. Somebody to say, I'm proud of you. Like support and I'm proud of you. Like that's more than what you can buy a piece of product because a lot of people don't get that. Now, and one of the notes that I made was when Carissa was talking about how we give out so much. One of the revelations that I got because I found myself in the mental hospital from a nervous breakdown is that what we do is we've been trained to give everything we got to people. That's not the way we were designed. So we have a cup, and he said our cup will runneth over. You don't give out what's in your cup because that's for you. You only give out what runneth over. When
girl,
you
that's
give
good.
out what's on the inside of your cup, you will find yourself empty. So we extend too much because we think that that's the right thing to do. Also, we've only been given the grace to handle what we have. We get burnt out, we get frustrated, we get down, we get depressed when we take on other people's stuff that we don't have the grace to handle. Lead them people with their stuff. Pray for
I like, you gotta say no sometimes.
them. No
No.
is a complete sentence. It don't require anything else, an explanation, a reasoning, no nothing. And there is nothing wrong with you saying that you don't have the ability to do so or that you don't have it to give. Listen, my kids be like, Mama, can you cash out me? I don't have it to give. That don't I ain't lied because I didn't say I don't have it. I don't have it to give to you. You
Mm-hmm.
and it is okay for you to do that. We have only been given grace enough to handle what's assigned to us. We get in trouble when we are trying to handle what was assigned to other people. And the thing is when you handle what other people supposed to handle, they end up right back in them same situations, in the same relationship with a different. Look at me point my finger. Let me put my hand down. Same relationship with a different face. And the thing is, or that same broke state with a different situation. So we got to be careful of giving people what's on the inside of our cup because we only are set to give them the overflow. I'm done. I'm digressing.
Yeah, I got to post that too.
I, like what you said is so important because I have a family member, somebody really close, that gave their all, 100% or more, for many, many years into a company investing in different things to that extent. When they determined that they didn't need that person anymore, what happened? Then where are you left with? Nothing that you established for yourself, nothing that you built because you were so focused on giving everything that you had to offer. And then what do? They utilize it sometimes and take what they see of you and what they know and think they can make it happen for themselves. So it like you said, giving them everything in your cup, you leave nothing for yourself when you got to go take it to the next place or go to the next level with. You got to make sure you like don't think rationally. Don't move too fast. It's okay to step a few seconds slow to capture what's going on all around you. She thought about you giving too much right now. But with that being said, I think we're at our hour mark. We went way over what we even thought of to begin with. But tune in next Thursday for sure. We're back on. Post any questions that you have. We'll definitely be able to answer them and help you out. We're here to support y'all as y'all continue to support us. Y'all have anything?
Follow
I'm
us
good.
on social media
Yeah.
at Coach Michelle Kennedy at ADQM Solutions.
Hey.
That's Coach. Follow us.
Yes.
Follow us on social media, but I'm gonna say how Jen Week said, but not in real life.
And Jazz Poetry Cafe tomorrow night, something really special, 7 p.m. live. So tune in and see what they have to offer, especially if you're in the Jacksonville area.
Yes, please come out and support us and all these local artists.
All right. Bye, y'all. Thanks so much.